The heart wants what the heart wants. We've all heard this before, but when it comes to actually following its urgings, well, that can be a little bit complicated. How many of us have fallen in love only to find that our feelings weren't exactly mutual? Or maybe we felt drawn to someone who was completely wrong for us. There are times when our hearts break for no good reason at all. But then there are other times when we know it's the best thing in the world for us, even though it hurts like hell. In this episode, we're taking a look at one of the most epic battles of all time, the war between the brain and the heart. What is the best way to make decisions? By thinking things through logically, or by trusting our gut feelings? Let's take a look. The brain is one of the most complex structures known to man. Its abilities are practically limitless, but they require a tremendous amount of energy to run properly. Every second that passes, the brain is calculating thousands of different pieces of data, deciding how to allocate that energy efficiently. When faced with a major decision, it will carefully weigh up the pros and cons of every option until it decides which one is the most logical and rational choice. It runs simulations of possible outcomes and determines which choice leads to the greatest success with the least amount of complications. The cerebral cortex is especially active during this process. This is the outer layer of the brain responsible for advanced cognitive abilities, such as reasoning and rational thought. It allows us to consider abstract ideas, weigh options, plan for the future, and reflect on the past. Of course, the brain isn't the only organ involved in this battle. The heart may be a lot smaller, but don't underestimate its power. From the moment you are born, your heart never stops beating. You don't need to think about it. You just know that it will always be there, working hard to keep you alive. For this reason, the heart is sometimes referred to as the soul of the body. It works instinctively, reacting to your environment without any conscious effort. In some ways, the heart is more closely connected to your actions than your brain is in order to make decisions. The brain needs to gather data from the heart and other parts of the body to determine what is needed to ensure the organism's survival. The brain and the heart have been working together since you were an embryo. They depend on each other to function. But when it comes to making decisions, it can seem like they're working against each other. Your brain might tell you that a certain food is healthy and good for you, but if your heart is craving something else, you could find yourself skipping the gym and ordering takeout instead. Sometimes the heart beats a little faster just because you walk past a certain restaurant, and everyone has had that one ex that their brain knew was bad news, but their heart just could unlet go of. Your emotions play a big role in these kinds of situations. You experience them in the limbic system of your brain. This is the part of the brain responsible for motivation, memory, and your ability to connect with other people on an emotional level. The limbic system is what allows you to feel emotions like love, joy, fear, sadness, and anger. Emotions are what motivate you to do most of what you do. They drive your decisions, whether you realize it or not. Even if your brain knows that going to see that movie would be a waste of time and money, your emotions might convince you otherwise. So how does the brain decide which emotion should take priority? Sometimes it can feel like your heart is taking control, but really it's just sending messages to your brain so that it can evaluate the situation and respond appropriately. The hormones and neurotransmitters that your heart sends to the brain during particularly emotional moments can affect your behavior, and those behaviors often have consequences that can influence how you feel. If you eat too much sugar because you're feeling down, you may feel guilty later on, which can lead to even more negative emotions. These are called somatic sensations. The body sends signals to the brain based on your physical condition. So if you're hungry, you might feel irritated or grumpy, which is why it's important to take care of your body. Emotions aren't always positive. Sometimes they can lead us to do things that we regret. That's why the brain plays an important role in helping us to control our emotions. The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain responsible for executive functioning. This includes the ability to regulate your emotions and make logical decisions even when you feel overwhelmed. But sometimes even the prefrontal cortex isn't enough. Anxiety and other mental health conditions can make it extremely difficult to control your emotions. This is when the brain needs help from other parts of the body, like the heart, to pull itself out of a tailspin. This brings us back to that epic battle. Which side are you on? Team brain or team heart? Well, both teams are made up of highly trained experts. The brain is great at solving problems, but it can also be and the heart is amazing at motivating you to do what you want, but it can lead you astray. So which one should you listen to? Some experts say you should trust your gut, but others will tell you to think things through. Some say you should listen to your heart, while others say you should ignore it. The truth is, there is no right answer here. Your brain and your heart work together to keep you alive and happy. They depend on each other to function. The brain needs the heart to send it information about the body, and the heart needs the brain to decide how to react to that information. So when you're torn between what your brain tells you you should do and what your heart tells you want to do, it can be helpful to remember that both sides are working towards the same goal. Your brain wants you to be happy, healthy, and safe. Your heart wants the same things for you. So when you make a decision, ask yourself, are you listening to your brain or your heart? Or maybe you're doing neither. Maybe you're making a decision based on pure logic or nothing at all. What do you think? Why do you think that way? Knowing your motivations can help you become a better problem solver. So which one do you trust more, your brain or your heart. We hope you enjoyed this episode of our animated science videos. If you did, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell icon to get more videos like this one. You want to be among the first to know when we release a new video? As always, thanks for watching.